Marino.
That's for sure. On the other side of the field, Chuck Knox now with the Rams again, hoping to restore the kind of glory years that he had with them in his first time around.
And you know, I've always liked the coach, Chuck Knox coach football team. Real simply, he always wins with a tough running game and a tough defense. Unfortunately, he's inherited a team that's throwing the ball. Jim Everett's struggling right now, so they've got to get back to the ground Chuck that we've come to know.
There is Jim Everett. And in his first game against Buffalo, they had a real difficult afternoon, and he had a difficult day himself. Last week, a win over the New England Patriots, a shutout of 14-0. A little better day for Everett, but he has not returned to the form of 1988 and 89. 89 degrees at kickoff time, a chance of showers, high humidity here in Miami, and that's the kind of weather that usually takes its toll on the visiting team. Dolphins will be defending to our right. Quickly, some scores of games that have been completed.
Wow, look at that one, 30-0, Tim.
Dolphins will receive. It'll be Tony Zendejas kicking off for the Los Angeles Rams. Dan Marino led that comeback in the final minute in what turned out to be the Miami Dolphins opening game against the Cleveland Browns Monday night. As we said, they had to postpone the scheduled opener against New England. Joe Robbie Stadium was being used as an area to get tons of ice available for the people in South Dade below Miami here in that devastated area from Hurricane Andrew. And of course, the Miami Dolphins themselves pitched in convoys of trucks and so on, and took lots of food and helped unload down there. And members of the armed forces, some Army soldiers who are here today, also were very much involved in that cause, and indeed still are down there helping out all of those folks. Zendejas will kick it off, and deep back for the Miami Dolphins, Mike Williams and Aaron Craver. Williams 87, Aaron Craver 34. And we're ready to open the Miami Dolphins season at home. Aaron Craver from about the 3. To the 23-yard line, and Dan Marino will lead on the Dolphins offense.
There's Dan Marino.
126 starts. I mean, that's remarkable in itself, man.
Well, it's remarkable, and it's a testimony to him, because the man never gets hit. He always gets back, sets up, and gets rid of the ball as quick as he can. And it's this offensive front that's going to do that today.
Jeff Dellenbach will start at right tackle, sharing time there with Mark Dennis. Higgs and Page in the backfield, with Mark Duper and Tony Martin starting at the wide receiver positions. Martin for the injured Mark Clayton. Throwing on first down, the tight end Edmonds. He has an immediate first down for the Dolphins to the 36-yard line. Kelm and Newman made the tackle. Gerald Robinson, 2 rookies at tackle, Mark Boutte and Sean Gilbert. Bill Hawkins at right end. Kevin Green, Larry Kelm, and Roman Pfeiffer for the injured Paul Butcher on the right side at linebacker. Light and Henley on the corners. Stewart and Newman are the safeties.
There's Kevin Green. They want to have success today. They're going to have to get a lot of production out of that man right there, Kevin Green.
3 sacks last week against New England. Higgs on first down. Picks up another. Anthony Newman on the stop. So the Dolphins pass and the Dolphins run for 2 consecutive first downs.
Yeah, watch the left side of the line. They said they got to take pressure off of Dan Marino. So what they're going to do is hand the ball off to Mark Higgs. We talked to Higgs about getting behind that left side, and what he says is, I don't care where we run the ball. All I want to do is see the hole and get there as fast as I can. He does it to the tune of a first down, Tim.
Good piece of running, kicking it outside. Dolphins approach midfield at their 46-yard line. Higgs again. About 5. Opening drive here at Joe Robbie Stadium in Miami, Florida. The Los Angeles Rams and the Miami Dolphins are scoreless, but the Dolphins have moved the ball smartly here on their first series. A pass from Marino for a first down, a run by Higgs. And Higgs has them second and about 5.5. in Rams territory. Tim Ryan and Matt Millen here on an overcast afternoon. Temperature of about 82 degrees. And it is a humid afternoon. First down pass to Tony Martin to the 36-yard line of the Rams.
I'm going to tell you this about Dan Marino. If you're going to line up all day and give him straight field zone, which is what he got right there, he's going to eat you alive. Dan Marino in the National Football League is one of the few players who, it doesn't matter what look you give him, he's going to find a weak spot. He just got it right there.
The low stats you see are from the first game of the season. They've played only one, remember. The Dolphins, having had to postpone their opener 2 weeks ago here in Miami. Those stats from the victory over the Cleveland Browns last Monday night. First down, Rams territory. Play action, complete again to Martin. Naked Duper, Martin Duper, 85. Forced out of bounds by Todd Lake, the second-year man from Notre Dame.
Tell you what, they're in sync. They've been in sync for such a long time. It's like you're playing together for so long, you know what each other's thinking. Mark Duper sees that 3-deep zone in front of Todd Light, and he just sits down, and the ball's there automatically.
13-yard gain. 3 out of 3 is Dan Marino for 35 yards. Opening series has him at the Rams 25. Gets near the 20-yard line. Turned back there by Helm and Henley. Larry Kelm, the little linebacker, and Darrell Henley.
Mark Higgs, we talked about the fact that what he's going to try to do is start one way and he's going to come all the way back, okay? He doesn't care where it's designed to go. He just wants to find the first opening. And you watch Kelm come up, stuff the hole. He's going to cut all the way back. Just get to the open field and pick up a couple yards.
A little fire plug, 5'7", 195-pounder Mark Higgs. Second down. About 6 for the Dolphins. Marino quickly out to Tony Page under the backfield. First down, Miami. Kevin Green on the tackle. Bit of a new role for Kevin Green, too.
Yeah, well, Kevin's having to make the switch from pure pass rusher into dropping into a little more coverages. And she said he's a little bit, he's not quite in sync with that coverage, the coverage yet. But see, the bottom line with a guy like Kevin Green is he wants to be great. That's what made him the good pass rusher, and that's what's going to really turn him into an all-around linebacker. Kevin Green gets a plus in my book.
Well, he said that in the offseason, knowing about this new role of coverage, he actually worked out with the former Olympic 400-meter runner Willie Smith to work on his speed. That's a dedicated guy. First down, Dolphins threatening here from the 13. Tony Page.
You know, Kevin Green worked on his speed the whole offseason. And what he does right here is you always take away the inside, take away one side from a receiver. He knows he has Page locked up, and it's just pure speed, good burst, incomplete pass.
So it's second down from just inside the 13 of the Los Angeles Rams. Opening drive of the football game. Higgs, big hole. Newman and Gerald Robinson saved the touchdown. He's at the 1.
Watch Mark Higgs. Now we're going to see exactly what he sees. See, he's reading everything right in here. He's going to get the ball deep, and he's just keying that backer. See the backer come right there. Hole's closed. Back inside. See, take it to the inside. Nothing there. Pick up the first. Mark Higgs off to a big start.
Dolphins bring in Greg Beatty and James Saxon for extra blocking. First and goal inside the 1. Higgs is stuffed. Good defensive effort. Make it Page. Page, the ball carrier, number 49. The lead fullback, usually blocking for Mark Higgs. This time they went to him.
Here's Scott Steven. You know, he's been in a lot of situations like this. They picked him up off the waiver wire from Green Bay. And, you know, you get into these kind of situations, and what you're looking for is a pure read off the fullback. And he's been there enough times to know he's going to make a big play off the fullback's movement, and that's exactly what he did.
Second and goal. Page and Saxon are the running backs. The two loads, 235 pounds each. Touchdown, Farrell Edmonds. A little roll from the man who is usually standing very still when he throws, but you can never overlook that ability of Dan just to let it go.
And I'll tell you, this is a great call for the reason we just said. You're going to get your key right off the fullback. They bring him back inside, and they roll him. Here comes Farrell Edmonds across behind the deepest back for the touchdown. I tell you, Dan Marino never ceases to amaze me. They say he's a pocket passer. Here comes a roll for 6 points.
Pete Stoyanovich on for the point after. It is good. And so the Miami Dolphins on their opening series, an impressive array of passing and running led by Mark Higgs. And Dan Marino punctuates it with a rollout pass to Farrell Edmonds.
No, and here's the beauty of a play like this. You're gonna take your key off the back. See him coming back. The backers are flowing right here. See the backers flowing? They have to respect this man right here. Now they fake the ball, and he's gonna roll back, and that allows enough time for Edmonds to get behind the coverage because of the play action, and that's 6 points. What do you do when you have Dan Marino out there all by himself? I'll tell you what you do. You never let him know that you don't have something. See, Dan, I'm still here. Don't get away. Yeah, see, that's great. See, Dan Marino knows. He's been in enough of those situations. He's saying, hey, Kevin, look, nice little pop, but I got 6 points to Edmonds.
Marino 5 out of 6 on that drive for 44 yards and a touchdown.
I always wondered what they do when they call on the phone. You know, do they call the opposing coach? Do they call upstairs, or do they call their wife for the loaf of bread?
Stockbroker. So Chuck Knox has yet to see the ball on offense. The Dolphins rolled right down through his young defense. This is a very young Rams defensive team, and he was quick to point out that it's Miami this week with Marino and company, not the New England Patriots of a week ago. Vernon Turner and Todd Kinchin are the deep men for the Rams. Stoyanovich will kick it off for Miami. Tim Ryan and Matt Millen here at Joe Robbie Stadium. Opening drive resulting in a touchdown for the Dolphins. Vernon Turner. And Turner to the 26-yard line, where he is met by Jim Jensen, the all-purpose man. And Jim Everett leads on the offense of the Rams. Gerald Perry, Tom Newberry, Bern Brostek, Joe Malinchik, Jackie Slater, the 17-year veteran, and tight end Pat Carter across the front. Cleveland Gary and Robert Del Pino are the running backs. Willie Anderson and Henry Eller, two dangerous receivers.
Tell you what, there's one of my all-time favorites in the National Football League, Jackie Slater. Jackie Slater brings the whole package to every game.
Carter makes the strong side left. Cleveland Gary, former University of Miami star, gets about 2. Cox and Klingbeil made the tackle. Defensively for the Miami Dolphins, joining Klingbeil, who's on the nose, Jeff Cross and T.J. Turner. The linebackers, the rookie Marco Coleman, with John Grimsley, who missed all of last year with injury after coming from Houston. Chris Green and J.B. Brown on the corners, Jarvis Williams and Lewis Oliver the safeties. You will see a lot today, however, of #1 pick from Wisconsin, Troy Vincent, also in that secondary. 2nd and 8. Gary again. Gary plows his way for another 3 yards. It'll leave 3rd and about 5.
You know, Tim, we talk at the top about them getting out and getting that run game going, and that does 2 things. See, once you have some success with the run game, that takes a little bit more pressure off your passer. You know, this guy here, he's been knocked around out in the papers. He's been knocked around, you know, by the guys in the league saying, you know, he gets a little nervous back there. He starts to have the happy feet. But you can get the run game going. That takes a lot of pressure off your passer, Jim Everett.
Griggs, Glenn, and Vincent now in the passing down situation for Miami defensively. Cole. Everett overthrown. Intended it for Jeff Chadwick, who has become the new possession receiver for the Rams. Coming down from Seattle along with Chuck Knox.
Good coverage on that last play by Chris Green. They get into the situation with the 4 wides. They match it up, incomplete. And so what you got from Tom Olivadotti then in that defense is success early.
You're looking at Scott Miller awaiting the punt, standing at the 25 of Miami. Former Green Bay Packer punter Don Bracken standing at the Rams 18. Good kick. From the 21. Miller gets a good return to the Miami 40-yard line. Stopped there by Jim Price after eluding the first tackler, Kinchin. For an NFL update, let's go to Greg Gumbel in New York.
All right, Tim, in Dallas, the Cowboys lead Phoenix 7-0. Second play from scrimmage, Aikman to Michael Irvin, and he just rambles. 87 yards in all by the time it's done. That's Aikman's longest touchdown pass of his career, and it's a 7-0 Dallas lead on Phoenix in the first. Tim?
So Michael Irvin gets Dallas off well against Phoenix. Phoenix still without quarterback Tim Rosenbaugh, of course. First down, Dolphins 40-yard line.
He's going to pass the bubble to the strong side. There it goes. Beautiful call.
Higgs running hard, has close to 10. Michael Stewart made the tackle.
Now you'll watch Dan Marino from the top. See right here. What he's going to do, he's going to audible, and he's going to attack this bubble right in here. See that? He's going to run that fullback right through, and Higgs just finds his way. Here comes Tony Page. This is what they love with him. Nice collision, right? See right in the center? Higgs around. Nice pickup, 9 yards. Good call by Dan Marino.
5'7", 195 pounds. Talking to that guy the other day, you get an idea of that low center of gravity, tremendous legs. Built a little bit like Barry Sanders. Not as fast, but he is a dangerous back. Second and less than a yard. And Higgs barrels into the middle. Looks like he has it. Had to cross midfield. What I was impressed with talking to him, too, Matt, was that it's clear that he's happy to have Bobby Humphrey here, the old team attitude. He knows Humphrey can help the team. He has got great skills. On the other hand, he'd like to play every down. He's not really interested in seeing Bobby out there much.
Well, he knows he does help him in that third down situation. Look at Bobby Humphrey. But like every good back, give me the ball. Hey, I want the ball first and second. That's fine. But I want the ball on third down, too.
First down at midfield. Marino 5 of 6 passing. That's complete to Page. Sure-handed fullback. They work him out of the backfield into the flat, sometimes circling him in the middle. He doesn't drop too many.
And I'll tell you what, Tim, that's a great example right there of Dan Marino. See, they came out early in the game. The Los Angeles Rams came out and they said, look, we're going to zone you. We're going to play off. And he went right down the field on him. Now we're going to mix it up. We went to the sideline. We're going to give Marino more man-to-man, which is what you saw in the last play. And you know what happens? Dan Marino 6 of 7 for 48 yards.
Has about a second and long 4 here. Duper comes out. Fred Banks comes in. Banks made a key catch on the winning drive against Cleveland Monday night. Higgs. Inside is blocked nicely. Tony Martin just held up his man enough, and Higgs with a good move gets another first down. Roman Pfeiffer made the tackle. Butte coming out to help, the rookie defensive tackle.
And they're just going to attack the left side, and what they're doing is just watch Farrell Edmonds there right in the corner. See him? See this right here? See, you got the hands on him. He's got good position. Mark Higgs just going to find it, get that deep look right up there, gets the first down. Right now, Don Shula says, look, I'm going back to taking pressure off my quarterback. I'm going to pound the ball down your throat until you stop it. Split backs.
They're doing it from the 39-yard line of the Los Angeles Rams. The Dolphins driving impressively again. Deep for Duper.
Got him.
Touchdown.
Tell you what, that man can do no wrong right now, Tim. Dan Marino got the matchup he's looking looking for. They're just going to come off the corner, and he's looking all the way. See, he knows where he wants to go. Ball's in the air. He's got his 2 steps on him. That's 6 points. They said, we talked to Todd Light, they said that Duper was the guy that he was going to go to. They couldn't get it stopped.
Flags everywhere on the point after. Yes, Todd Light also said Mark Duper will probably be working a lot against Darrell Henley. And unfortunately for Henley, he was.
You know, Todd Light said that with a smile on his face. And I think the reason he had a smile on his face is because he knew he didn't have to go against this man Duper all day long.
38-yard touchdown to Duper. 54 yards in 5 plays, another 3:02 off the clock. Their first drive for the opening score eliminated 6 minutes and 12 seconds from the game clock. Penalty was against the Rams. Gordon McCarter is our referee today, and so the Dolphins get a second chance. Pete Stoyanovich makes it 14-0 Miami. Well, we welcome those of you joining us from other NFL action, as here in Miami, the Dolphins on 2 consecutive series have taken a 14-0 lead over this man's team, the Los Angeles Rams, and Dan Marino has passed for 2 touchdowns, 1-yard strike to Farrell Edmonds after an impressive opening drive. And just moments ago, this bomb to Mark Duper.
Now watch Mark Duper right down here. See, and then watch this man right here, Dan Marino. See what's going to happen? He knows he got the matchup right from the start. He gets that 3-deep look. He's looking the whole way. He's waiting for him to come open. Ball's in the air. Safety can't get over. 6 points, Miami Dolphins. You know, there's the look of a guy who knows what he wanted and got it. I talked to Dan Marino yesterday, you know, and when he said, what kind of look do you expect to see? He said, if I get that zone look, he said, he wouldn't come quite out and say it, but what he was between the lines was saying is, I'm going to eat it up. And I'll show you, he's eating it up to this point.
He is 7 of 8 for 87 yards and 2 touchdowns, and that was a 38-yard touchdown pass to Mark Duper. Jim Everett has yet to throw a pass for the Rams. They've had the ball only once and had to punt. Turner and Kinchin are back deep. Kickoff from Stoyanovich will not be brought out. Turner doing the right thing. Stoyanovich really blasted that one, and Pete Stoyanovich came in well as a punter when Reggie Roby was hurt against Cleveland. Made 2 fine punts. Well, Jim Everett is going to have to go to the air now. They're down 14-0. 3:56 remaining first quarter.
Yeah, that's a position they didn't want to get him in. They wanted to get him some confidence, running the ball, take some pressure off him. Now they got him in a situation where they've got to throw to get it back in.
He'll run it on first down. Cleveland Gary ran into his own blocker, and he is stuffed for a loss.
Great
Marco
defense.
Coleman, the rookie linebacker.
That's great defense, and when you're running that 34 scheme, the middle of the defense is the whole key. Watch right here, Chuck Klingbeil and Vern Brostek. You see, he said he was going to have a tough matchup because he's a big guy, but I'll tell you what, he's stuffing him right in the hole, holding the point. Gary's got nowhere to go, gets rid of him. Coleman comes around for the tap. That's a big plus there for Chuck Klingbeil.
Loss of a yard on the play, 2nd and 11. Short drop by Everett. Oh, a near great catch by Willie Anderson. Could not quite hold on. Right on his fingertips and nearly made an outstanding grab.
I'll tell you what, Tim, when you play the LA Rams, this is a guy that comes into your mind all the time from a defensive point of view, Flipper Anderson. They're going to try Chris Green on this more than one time today. We're going to see that play again because Flipper Anderson is going to make it work. The guy's got great speed, and he and Everett have that play down pretty well. When we lined up against Flipper Anderson, we'd always tell our corners, you know it's coming, so stay as deep as you can.
And run fast. 3rd down, 11. Ellard and Cox with Anderson. Everett steps up in the pocket, and it first down with forward progress just over the 30-yard line.
I'll tell you what, that was a great job by Jim Everett right there. Staying in the pocket, showed good patience, waited for it to come open. Boom, hit it. See? But watch Everett. He gets the ball. See, he's just waiting back there. He's got the 2-step, 3-step drop. Here it comes. Now he shows great patience, okay? Come open, come open. There you are. You got the first down. Nice job by Chadwick. First down.
From the 31-yard line of Los Angeles, they trail 14-0. Sack, loose ball. Miami has it. Brian Cox put the hit on Everett. T.J. Turner came up with a loose ball. Blindside shot. Everett had no chance.
Well, I talked to Tom Olividani about this man, Brian Cox, and what he does is just one tough guy. Brian Cox comes to play.
Midget is out there if you're interested.
14-0 lead, Miami over the Rams. Watch this. This is classic miscommunication. See, you got the double read. You got to get the running back's got to look at Offerdahl, and he's also got to have the guard come out. Nobody takes him. Comes clean. Everett pays the price with a shot to the back. J.T. Turner picks it up. Hey, this man, not only is he a good dancer, this guy is one tough football player. Brian Cox.
You liked your line. First down. Marino pumps once deep to the corner. That's too far for Tony Martin. Flag down.
That's a bad call if they call it, Tim.
Todd Light had the coverage. Let's see what Gordon McCarty comes up with, and it is offensive pass interference against Miami.
I like that call.
Martin pushing off, evidently.
And let's watch Martin at the end of that play. As if Todd Light going for the ball.
Number 89 offense, 10 yards, still first down.
Yeah, that's a good call. Yeah, for a minute I thought they were going to call it on Todd Light, and it was clear that that didn't happen. You know, every now and then you get in the fray there, and Tony Martin does what every good receiver has to do. You know, you have to create an advantage to get to the football. His happened to be called. Good
Well, he may have
defense by
thought
Todd
that Light had a shot to catch that ball because it was overthrown, and he did give him a push. First and 20 from the 32-yard line of the Rams. Higgs gets about 3, tripped up by Todd Light. Had a big game against New England last week, the second-year man from Notre Dame, and he has hurt himself. Took himself out of the game.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, this is something that few corners in the National Football League do well, and Todd Light does it very well. See, he comes up and supports all the way, but you know what? I think Todd Light hurt his shoulder on that one.
I think his hand, maybe. Hand or wrist.
It's not serious.
Let's see.
That's a very good football player, and the Rams got to have him for this scheme to work.
Second down. About 18. For Martin. Oh, and a great hit on Martin by Darrell Henley. Martin had climbed a ladder to catch that ball, and had he not taken such a shot, it would have been a completion.
It would have been a great catch, but I'm going to tell you, I'm going to have to pass out grade A to both of them. One for Martin going up high to get this ball. He knows he's going to get waxed right here. See, and one for Darrell Henley for not stopping his feet. See, that's good football right there. He ran right through him. Ball's incomplete. Plus for the defense, plus for the offense.
Steve Israel alongside Henley. When they drafted Israel number 2, Henley was a little upset. He said, each year they keep bringing in somebody to take my position away, but he is still the starter, and Israel works the nickel package. Israel, the number 2 choice from Pittsburgh. 7 defensive backs, and the Dolphins run it, but they're well short of the first down. Into field goal territory for Stoyanovich.
Yeah, that's a good call there by Don Shula in that offense. We're going to get Bobby Humphrey into this sooner or later, and we're not going to risk an incomplete pass, so we're going to snap the ball directly to Humphrey, and he's just going to find his way. Nice call, nice run.
Humphrey got inside the 20. Stoyanovich will have the ball spotted for him at the 26-yard line. Scott Mitchell, the backup quarterback, will hold. A 36-yard attempt. And it is good. So the Dolphins have scored on each of 3 possessions. This last following the fumble on the hit against Everett.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? Old Milwaukee and Old Milwaukee Light. It doesn't get any better than this. And by Radio Shack, America's technology store. Nobody compares.
39 seconds still remain in the first quarter, and Miami with a 17-0 lead. A pair of Dan Marino touchdown passes and a 36-yard field goal by this man, Pete Stoyanovich. The Rams have been unable to move the football, and they haven't had the ball much to move. On their last possession, a blindside shot by Brian Cox on Everett produced a fumble at the 22-yard line of the Rams. Turner on the return. And he gets near the 30-yard line of Los Angeles. And we'll be back at Joe Robbie Stadium in Miami in just a moment.
Marty, did you have...
Tim Ryan with Matt Millen, Joe Robbie Stadium, Miami, Florida. A 17-0 lead. The Dolphins over the Rams. 28 seconds left. Tony Martin took quite a shot and was a little bit wobbly when he came back to the field. Darrell Henley really leveled him and broke up a pass. It would have been a great catch by Martin. He was up about 4 feet off the ground. His reserve tight end Greg Beatty, who snaps the ball for Miami. First down. Rams have had little opportunity to get anything going. Everett throwing for Anderson, and just off his fingertips, out of bounds, incomplete. And now for an NFL update. Let's go to Greg Gumbel in New York.
All right, Tim, in Dallas for the second time today, Aikman to Urban clicks. Watch Aikman pump fake, springs Urban 41 yards for his second touchdown catch of the day. 14-7. Dallas, they're just underway in the second quarter. Tim?
14-7 Dallas over Phoenix, and Michael Irvin having a hot day for the Cowboys.
And another good dancer.
Yeah, that's right, he is. Second down. Cleveland Gary. Good spin move by the big man.
Hey, he got something.
Gary to the 30-yard line of Miami. Well, it's great to see the University of Miami star have such a big run right here in his university town. And zeros are up. That's the end of the first quarter with the score. Miami 17. The Los Angeles Rams nothing.
Nothing Miami lead. I tell you, when you get big runs, you have big collisions, and this is great football. See this right here? See that? That's John Offerdahl taking on. Now watching the outside, you're going to see Pat Carter over here. See this right here? He's going to stay with that block all the way. Del Pino finishes the block. Nice spin. Louis Oliver can't get there. And here's the key right at the end. See, this is what makes good football teams. See Henry Eller down at the end trying to push Chris Green? You got to love it.
First down at the 30-yard line of Miami. Everett going for it all. And Anderson, well covered, intercepted on a tip. Brought back now by Brown. J.B. Brown still going. To the 32-yard line.
Up and tips it. Now J.B. Brown just hanging there. Safety coming over. He's got it. Now he makes a good decision to take it out with no one there. Brings it back the other way for 35 yards.
Defensive coordinator of the Dolphins, Tom Olivadotti, on the sideline. Got to be pleased with the way his team has stopped the Rams cold.
You know, two things when Olivadotti says, first of all, he said, we've got to get turnovers. He said, that ball's in the air, we got to get there. When the ball's in the ground, we got to get there. He said, we haven't been a good fumble recovering team, and we haven't really been able to get the ball when it's available to us in the air. Now, he said we had to get turnovers. That was number one. Number two, he said, please don't show me on the air when something goes wrong. He said, my daughters are complaining that they can see me in a bad mood, and he didn't like that.
Well, so far, we showed him only when something went well for him. Higgs gets about 5 to the 35-yard line. Well, the Rams had something going, a 48-yard run by Cleveland Gary, which tied his longest effort. He had run that against Dallas back in 1990. But suddenly another turnover by the Rams on what I thought was a bad decision for Everett to throw it down there against double coverage.
You know, there's the key right there. See that? You got 11 minutes to 4 minutes, basically. And that's just killing them. They got to get the ball in their hands if they want to do something.
2nd down and 6. Marino, he's got Freddie Banks, first down to the 47-yard line of the Rams. Well, the word on Todd Light is a shoulder problem, dislocation, and what a loss that is. He won't be back today, of course. Robert Bailey is in for him, number 28, but the young Notre Dame star, that's going to be a big blow in this already young defensive team. He's one of the stars back there already in just his 2nd year.
Yeah, that's a tough loss for that defense. They got to have him because he's one of the guys in that team who can take another player out of the game completely. Now they lose him.
Number 28, the 2nd-year man from Miami, University of Miami. That's Robert Bailey. Now at the left corner. First down, Dolphins. Higgs again. Higgs plows his way underneath the bigger bodies for about 3.
George Dyer, the defensive coordinator for the Rams, said, look, we have to get some production up front from our young people. And we're starting guys out, Sean Gilbert, Mark Boutte, and they're going to be going against an experienced offensive front that you're looking at right there. But you see, we have to get some production, and production manifests itself in tackles. And right now, you know, they're not getting it done.
Gilbert on the step with Roman Pfeiffer on Higgs. 2nd and a long 5 for the Dolphins here at the Rams 42. And it's Bobby Humphrey. Humphrey looks to have the first down. It'll be close. Kevin Green made the stop over there on the left side.
Yeah, there's Sean Gilbert, a big number 1 pick out of Pitt. Yeah, they have great things for him, but you know what he's got to do, like every young player's got to do, he's got to learn to play in the National Football League. You know, he's a big man, 315 pounds, he's got great movement inside, but there's a certain way to play in the league. You know, it's not like you're going against a physically inferior guy. As you look at the first down, you're going against a guy each week who has as much ability or more than you, so you got to find a way to get it done. Now, they have big hopes for Sean Gilbert, but he's got to come through for him.
Injured his ankle twice so far, once in the preseason and again last week, but at least showing some ability to play a little hurt. He's out there in this game today and has gone the distance so far. And the defense has obviously been on the field longer than the offense by far. 12:06 to go, first half. Humphrey picks his way for about 2. Bobby Humphrey coming over from Denver in the trade for Sammy Smith. Primarily was used in the first game on 3rd downs. Now getting a little running time. Higgs, of course, has been a real busy guy in the first quarter.
I think Mark Higgs on the sideline getting some air. He's been tired so far. But, you know, this guy brings an extra dimension. You know, we talked to Dan Marino about Jim Jensen, the 3rd down back the last few years. He said, look, I love Jim Jensen, but he's not Bobby Humphrey.
James Saxon is the fullback with Humphrey. Came over from Kansas City on the plan B. And that is Saxon taking the pass. Tony Page would normally be catching and picking up about 7, maybe 8. It'll be short of the first down by about a yard. Darrell Henley and Michael Stewart on the tackle for the Rams. Beatty comes in.
16 eligible. 16 eligible.
Gordon Carter got to fix that mic. He just blew my ears out.
Pat Terrell, Scott Stephen, and Warren Powers are in on this short yardage situation, 3rd and 1. Bert Widener is eligible on the play. He's in there to block. They run it with Humphrey getting the first down. Inside the 20.
Short yardage football is grunt football, you know, and what you do is you put a guard in your backfield, and this week it's masqueraded by that man right there, Tony Page. Look at the collision. Now that's NFL football. Roman Pfeiffer taking on, opening the hole, first down.
Are you allowed to grunt in football? You can't do that in tennis anymore.
Well, I'll tell you what, this is not a tennis player right here. 5'10", 235. That man is a fire plug, and I like it.
Tony Page, former Jet and Lion, really found a home here in Miami. Humphrey, good running by Humphrey, and that Rams defensive line really being shredded on the ground. Near the 10-yard line.
And they said what they're going to do is they're going to attack right here. See these guys? This is the inside of that defense. They're going to attack the inside of the defense. Watch the block here. Harry Galbraith, see right here, got the hands on him. He's pushing him out. See Sims right here pushing him out. They just let him find a hole. Humphrey through the middle. Another big run. 34 yards rushing already for Hump.
2nd and less than a yard at the 10. Dolphins knocking on the door once more. This could be ugly before it's over. That ball tipped up. Like it might have been Kevin Green getting a hand on it. Incomplete.
This is a time right now for this Los Angeles defense. Hey, we got to make something happen, okay? We've been abused the whole first quarter. Now it's time for somebody to step up and look, grab helmets, start slapping, call them, whatever you got to do. You got to make something happen. Every defense got to have a pace setter. This defense has to have one right now.
96 is Mark Boutte, the rookie from LSU, number 3 pick. Been somewhat of a surprise, and that they like what he's shown them, and they've certainly got some great growth years ahead of those 2 tackles. Farrell Edmonds, good defensive play there, diving tackle by Pat Terrell. But it's a first down, Miami. Inside the 5, well, they spot it right at the 5-yard line.
I'll tell you what. If I'm the Los Angeles Rams, I'm loading up with Tony Page because I know he's coming right. Here he comes. There's the fake. That's a great call by Don Schuler, Dan Marino, whoever made it. First down. That's a good play right there by Farrell Edmonds, and a nice job by Pat Terrell getting out there.
Widener comes in now. Edmonds comes back. Widener will come in and be an extra tight end or an extra blocker on the wing. And they line him up. A little confusion. Widener wanted to go to the right side, and they'll have to take a timeout. Widener started to line up on the right, and Edmonds was already there. So we'll be back at Joe Robbie while the Dolphins sort it out. Tim Ryan with Matt Mellon, Joe Robbie Stadium, 17-0. Miami leads it, threatening here. And a little confusion down there on the part of the Dolphins led to more confusion on the part of the Rams, who took the timeout, not the Dolphins. But meanwhile, Miami trying to sort out what the play call was going to be.
Well, I mentioned earlier, whoever was making that call, whether it was Schuler, whether it was Marino, and the third guy into that quotient is Gary Stevens, the quarterback coach. You see, what you have, though, when you get a quarterback like Dan Marino is the ability to change things at the line of scrimmage. And so you never really know who's going to make the call. You get your base call from the sidelines, and then everything goes to Dan Marino. So whoever made the call, great call.
Bert Widener came in on the last play there to line up as a blocker and went to the right side where Edmonds was already stacked up as a tight end. So they've got that all organized now, and Greg Beatty is on the wing right. So they've got 3 tight ends, Widener's left, Edmonds and Beatty for blocking. 1st and goal from the 5. Great fake by Marino. And it is tipped, intended for Beatty, and it was Anthony Newman, number 26, who played that very well. He got a hand on the ball, saw it all the way.
This is great defense by the Rams, and an even better job by Dan Marino. See, here comes Calms, going to meet Page. Automatically, he knows what the play is. They're going to go in play action. Page throws him down. But here's the bottom line. See, nowhere to go. Good defense. Let's throw it away.
2nd and goal from the 5. And again, a little confusion on the Dolphins here. Marino gets Edmonds over to the left side. Higgs. Hit by Larry Kelm and pushback with help from Roman Pfeiffer.
This is where that defense is starting to say, hey, look, we got to make something happen. And, you know, Larry Kelm does a great job of a great read getting on over there. And Sean Gilbert and Boutte, you're getting a lot of flow. Look, you get down here, and what I always felt like once you got inside that 5 or 10 yard line was this. They don't got too much further to go, so I can push myself a little more. You know, so you forget about sucking up the oxygen, and you zero in on your one key that you have, because 3rd and goal, things are going to happen right away.
Well, it's 3rd and goal from the 2, so this is the biggest play of the day so far for the Rams defensively. Higgs diving, they stuff him. Loose ball, Rams have it. Kevin Green. Well, there it is. That's the big play you wanted from a defensive point of view.
And now they got to build on it. That's great defense down there inside the 5-yard line by that Ram defense.
The rookie Sean Gilbert appeared to be the first guy to make the hit on Higgs. Let's have a look at it again. The dive straightened up by Boutte is there, and Gilbert together. Jim Ryan and Matt Millen, the Rams stopping the Dolphins, have first down at their own 5. Cleveland Gary squirts out to about the 8-yard line. And a good defensive stand by the Rams, and they simply had to do it or the game could have turned into a rout. As it is, they trail 17-0.
They talk about the young defense. See, Roman Pfeiffer, Sean Gilbert, Boutte. See, they got to make something happen. So here it comes. Great job by Gilbert getting across. Great job by Boutte. Now watch Roman Pfeiffer. See, come there. Watch the ball pop right there. Good job by Roman Pfeiffer. Ball's loose. Ram football.
2nd and 6. Everett gets some time. Sideline complete to Flipper Anderson. And a first down, Rams at the 23-yard line.
And you're in that Rams sideline right now. You got to start letting the juices flow. Hey, we're getting something back. You get on the sideline. Hey, we can do it, guys. Flipper makes a big play. Cleveland with the run. We're going to pick it up. We got to make something happen here.
15-yard gain. They have had the ball only 5 minutes to this point in the first half. 6:42 remains. So no wrap can be laid on the Rams offense. They haven't had a chance to do anything with the ball.
Nice call.
Gary. Got to the 35-yard line. And a first down again for the Rams.
I'll tell you what, offensive coordinator Ernie Zampese is having a very nice mix right now. So he's taking things up. Go with the quick. See, I don't know which one he is right there, but I'm going to tell you this. He's making some good calls, and probably that booth is making some good calls too, based on the score. But Ernie Zampese, good mix.
Brown and Oliver made that tackle. You're looking at the Dolphins brain trust there. Shot, first down. Gary, and he gets another 3, maybe 4 yards.
The mark for me, for Chuck Knox's football team, was that he was very patient with his run game. And, you know, I remember back, we played him in the championship game, and we jumped up on him like this. And you know what? He didn't get out of it. And that is the sign of a good football coach. I think what happens now when they go to all this hurry-up stuff, the coach tends to lose the patience. See, it ends up going from the sideline to the quarterback. You need good patience to stay in a football game. We're seeing it right here.
Well, they still need some points on the board before the half, though. 2nd down. Eller. First down at the 50-yard line. Brown and Oliver again on the stop. Henry Ellard, number 80. That is a pass receiving streak stop last week when he didn't get one against New England.
And that, to me, Tim, is unbelievable. Henry Ellard is a guy who can change the game. He's got the great speed. He's a sure-handed guy, and he's a guy you know they're going to get to eventually. You know, I talked to Jim Everett and say, you know, were you aware that he didn't get the ball at the end of the game? He said, yeah, we were, but we had 14 points on the scoreboard, and we just wanted to run the clock out.
They have a first down at midfield. Flea flicker. Nobody open deep, and Eller throws it away. The Dolphins were ready for that, and they had it covered.
I'm going to tell you what, that man right there, Tom Olivadotti, defensive coordinator, said, I have not seen this at all, but I know it's coming. They're going to give me a flea flicker because what we get is our safeties. Watch our safeties up here. See, our safeties are really aggressive. Louis Oliver, he's going to come up and force. And see, they give that, pitch it back, flea flicker, waiting for the force to come up. But they do a great job keeping your free safety in the hole, nowhere to go. He throws it out.
Good call, good coverage. Smart play by Everett to unload it out of bounds. Flags everywhere on this one as Gary gets maybe a yard. Gordon McCarter is the referee, and the penalty is against Miami as we give you a couple of baseball scores as pen and fever, such as it is, starts to rise.
Offside, 51 defense, 5 yards, still second down.
Brian Cox offside.
Look at that, 2-0 to 2-1 with an exclamation point.
So it's second down and 5 at the 44-yard line. Gary again picks up about 3 yards. Tom Newberry blocked so hard, lost his helmet.
And Tom Newberry, one of those guys, you know, he's a football player. You know, when I look through the dictionary, his face is in there. You know, and that's probably why he wanted to put that helmet back on, because he had his face exposed.
Turner made the tackle. Newberry had been playing some center for the Rams. He's back at his more familiar position at guard. Third down and 3. Everett looks to the right, comes to the left, and it is incomplete. Not a good throw. Anderson, the intended receiver. Coverage from J.B. Brown. So Bracken comes in as the Rams stopped again. Move the ball out from their 5 into Miami territory, but couldn't keep it going. 3:16 to go in the half. Miller and Jarvis Williams are back standing at the Miami 10. And fair caught at the 10-yard line by Scott Miller. Mark Clayton on the sidelines of the Dolphins, recovering from a neck injury. Well, Mark Duper's got himself a touchdown in this game, and he's being heckled by somebody in the end zone. Who's this guy?
That's Mark Clayton. Hey, you put on injured reserve. You know, what do you do when you're an injured player? See what you do? You become a cameraman for the CBS crew.
He's got a good seat there. First and 10. At the 10-yard line for the Dolphins. Higgs rolls off one tackle. They had him back there for a loss. Mike Peel had a good shot at him. And that Higgs, a powerful guy.
Strong guy, but not as strong as this guy. Look, he said, hey, get in there. Listen to this guy. He's telling everybody what got to go on. Hey, dude, cut him! Cut him, dude! He's telling to Mark Duper, hey, cut that corner when he's... Don't let him get up there and make the tackle. That man, Mark Clayton, one of the fun guys in the National Football League to play with and against.
Well, it's a lot easier for them to have fun when they're up 17 to zip. 2:38 to go in the first half. Higgs again. And they stop him at the line of scrimmage for no gain. Fred Strickland on the tackle. Well, next Saturday here on CBS, we'll bring you Major League Baseball with either the Mets at Pittsburgh or the Cubs at Montreal. In the National League East, the Pirates lead the Expos by 5.5 games. That all starts at 2:30 Eastern Time with Baseball 92 for all the latest news around the leagues. Okay, so it's still 3rd and 5. And the Rams getting some fresh legs in there in Strickland and Mike Peel, who are not among the starters today. We've reached the 2-minute warning, 17-0. Tim Ryan with Matt Millen, Joe Robbie Stadium in Miami, 17-0. Miami Dolphin lead over the Rams, and it's Dolphin ball. 3rd down and 5 at their own 15. Well, coming up at halftime, the NFL Today halftime report. Greg and Terry will have all the scores and highlights and latest information from around the league, and I'm sure they will update you on a serious injury to the 49ers. John Taylor, their outstanding wide receiver, a broken leg in the game against the Jets. And they'll bring you up to date on everything. 4 wide receivers in for the Dolphins, and the rush on Marino. He just got the ball away, and it was lucky he was not intercepted. Kevin Green had the blitz on and got to Marino, forcing him to cough it up.
And that's good defense, and the Rams are starting to pick it up. When you got to have a pace setter, and here he is, Kevin Green. Now, watch him go around. He knows he's going to get cut. Great feet there. Gets him to throw the ball away. Good job by Kevin Green.
It was Mark Dennis that he went by, number 74, and he's been alternating with Dellenbach in these first 2 games. Dellenbach played the first quarter. Dennis will play the second and fourth. And it is Joe Prokop in for his first kick as a Miami Dolphin, and he blasts one back to Turner inside the 30 of the Rams. Tremendous kick by Joe Prokop. He's filling in for the injured Reggie Roby. They had tryouts here. 8 guys tried out. Prokop won the job. Tough act to follow is named Reggie Roby, while Joe Prokop is going to try while Reggie Roby recovers from his knee injury suffered against Cleveland. A 56-yard punt, his first punt of the game, made by San Francisco in training camp. Best known down here, of course, is a former punter with the New York Jets, rivals of the Dolphins. First down, Rams at their own 38-yard line from the shotgun. Everett deep sideline overthrows. Ellard incomplete.
And that's going to look like a bad throw by Jim Everett, but I'm going to tell you this. He wanted Aaron Cox underneath and didn't have it, so he just threw it away. So that's a good play by Jim Everett.
On the coverage on Ellard was Chris Green. 2nd and 10. 38-yard line of the Rams. 1:36 to go in the half. And they really need some points here on this final 1:52.
They got to find a way to get on the scoreboard before the half.
And that is too high for Ellard. Good charge by the Dolphins.
You know, they came with a blitz and they matched it up man, and he wanted to get to the ball to the guy who knows he's going to make the catch. It's a little bit too high. But, you know, we're getting a situation where I've got to get some points on the board before the half. If I'm Jim Everett, I got to get the ball into the hands of Henry Ellard.
4 of 12 passing. 4 wideouts. Ellard, of course, Cox, Anderson, and Chadwick.
It's a big down. They got to get this first. They don't. You give Miami another chance to get some points.
Everett steps up and he'll run it. And he has the first down.
It's going to be close.
Well, now they're going to spot it perhaps just short.
They're going to measure it. Now they're going to go for it. They're bringing in the horses.
It'll be 4th and about a foot.
Hey, so this is a gutsy call right here with a minute to go. Hey, they got to get the first down. If they don't get the first down on 4th down, you saw what Marino did Monday night, how fast he can score.
If it's 17-0, I think they've got to go for it here.
You know what?
Whoa, they didn't get it. Cleveland, Gary, stacked. Jarvis Williams and John Grimsley breaking through the offensive front to make the stop.
No, when you get an I formation, everything really falls into place. You're reading this man right here, see? You're those linebackers. You're just going to read that lead back, and he's going to take you to the football. Here comes Del Pino, and he gets stuffed. And Jarvis Williams there, and Grimsley makes the good tackle. And you know what? That's a big play. Now, they have an opportunity right now to get back on the board, and I think that's a tough call.
Well, I agreed with the danger involved, but I think when you're down 17-0, they had to go at midfield, 4th down and a foot. Marino, and that's batted down at the line of scrimmage. Looked like Boutte got a hand on it. The rookie from LSU, 6'4", 300-pounder.
He's a 3rd-round pick. You know, he said, read in the paper this week where he said all the attention's been going to Sean Gilbert, and all of a sudden this guy, he's been taking big strides, and he's really turning into a good football player, and they're going to need him in the middle. You know, see him talking back and forth. They took together like maggots right when they got there. They're on the same page, and they're going to have a long time to play together.
Complete to Mike Williams, 2nd-year man from Northeastern, pardon me.
Now what you saw right there was good time for Dan Marino to get rid of the ball. And I'm sorry, I don't care what defense you put out there. If you're giving him some time, he's going to find a way to beat you.
Williams down the list of wide receivers on the Dolphins. A free agent who came over from the Falcons last year. Timeout with 1st down at the 29-yard line of the Rams.
You know, you see he just passed Unitas there for the 4th place, but you know, in the National Football League, the adjective great is thrown around all the time, and really undeservedly. In my mind, there's only 4 or 5 great football players in the NFL. You know, you talk Barry Sanders and Joe Montana and Reggie White, and this man is in that list. Dan Marino, to me, is one great football player, and I don't think you can say anything else about the guy. He's been tried, he's been tested, and he's won. And if you give him something that he has to get over, he's going to get over it every time.
Well, it'd be hard to argue that, and I guess the only thing that's missing for him is what he wants most of all, and that's a Super Bowl. He's in his 10th year this year. 1st down. Dropped by Humphrey. Humphrey wanted to run with the ball about a split second before he actually had it. Roman Pfeiffer, the linebacker, number 58, had the coverage on him.
Yeah, Roman Pfeiffer, he's the guy there. He says, I don't want to be known as a pass-covering linebacker. I want to be known as a linebacker. Hey, I want to play everything. The guy's got great speed, 2nd-year guy, UCLA. You know, he's got a chance. They gave him the opportunity to start last week, and he stepped up, and, you know, we watched the films, and he really played well.
His dad must have wanted him to be a quarterback like Roman Gabriel, because that's apparently who he's named after.
Yeah, but the funny part about that is his middle name. You know, he picked it out of a phone book.
Zubinski. I love it.
You're just unhappy that he didn't find Ryan in the phone book.
Whoops, a little miscue there. And a good defensive play by Kevin Green.
And Kevin Green came to play football. See this? Kevin Green's going to come off the corner, you know, and he said in this defense he doesn't have a chance to come all the time. So when he does have the opportunity, he likes to do the whole thing. And there it is. He gets underneath Sims. That's a good veteran play, and that's a good veteran player, Kevin Green. His 3 sacks last week against New England matched his total from last year.
Green just took down Sims right in the path of Bobby Humphrey, who had nowhere to go except into that pile. Well, now the Rams defense the last 2 series here has been doing their job. Now it's obviously up to the Rams offense to get them back into this football game, and it'll have to be in the 2nd half.
We got to get some points. You know, we talked to Ernie Zampese, we talked to George Dyer, and they said, you know, we have to do this, we have to do that to really be successful. But what they're really saying as coaches says we have to have success. That's what's important. We have to have success. And in the last 2 series, this Ram defense has had some success.
So it's 3rd down, about 13. Receivers spread across the field from Marino. He's naked back there, and it is batted down, and What a play by Marino, saving a possible interception.
Say that Dan Marino is the guy, you know, he knows everything's got to happen. He knows every situation he's been in on, and this is just another example of why he's one of the best ones. You see, the ball's batted down, Boutte up in the air. Now, we saw last week where quarterback had the opportunity and he caught the ball, Brett Favre, and he ran with it. This man knows he's not paid to run, he's paid to throw.
It'll be a 50-yard field goal try by Stoyanovich. That's the second knockdown of the day for young Mark Boutte. And Gerald Robinson may well have had an intercept there, apart from Marino's cleverness. Stoyanovich from 50. No. Well, suddenly the Los Angeles Rams defense has risen to this occasion here, and they'll head to the locker room feeling a little better about what they're doing on that side of the ball. But the Rams are down 17-0.
They had a little success right now. They had two great series. But see, last week they had their first shutout in 60 games, and that's unbelievable. You know, and it's tough to shut a team out in the National Football League. And they went and got it done. You know, and that builds a little confidence. Now, they're going against a great one in Dan Marino, but, you know, in the last two series, they've settled into their game, and this man really has provided the spark, and he's the guy who's got to provide the spark. So you go into halftime, you feel a little bit better yourself, and you have something to build on.
So they'll let it wind down here. And under now quite gray skies here in muggy Miami today, the Dolphins have a shutout going. That's the end of the first half. With the score, the Miami Dolphins 17, the Los Angeles Rams nothing.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Mitsubishi. The word is getting around. Budweiser, the king of beers, who reminds you friends know when to say when. And by Valvoline Motor Oil. People who know use Valvoline. Engineering. Pepto-Bismol, the one that coats, is the only one you need. And by Wrangler. Comfortable jeans for men.
Welcome back to Joe Robbie Stadium, Miami, Florida. The Dolphins leading the Rams 17-0, and that man's got to get it cranked up in the second half. Tim Ryan with Matt Millen here at Joe Robbie, and you had to be, at least if you're a Rams fan, feeling a little better about their defense the last couple of series. Now it is clearly on the shoulders of Jim Everett.
Well, it's got to come back to Everett. You know, the defense did a good job of getting them back into the game, emotionally at least. Now it goes back to Everett. You know, Everett's got to be able to get some confidence in the flow of the game. They got it on their side. Now they got to keep it rolling.
Well, Dan Marino got off to a flying start for the Dolphins. They scored first early in the first period on a one-yarder to Edmonds. And now here, just a few minutes later in the first quarter, this bomb to Mark Duper.
You watch right here. You see Dan Marino. He never takes his eyes off the receiver down here to Duper. And the reason he doesn't take his eyes up is because in straight man-to-man coverage. See, he knows he's got man. He just waited for Duper to beat him. Duper beats him 6 points.
Well, they added a field goal by Stoyanovich to make it 17-0, all in the first quarter. And then the Rams a little stronger defensively, but the Rams offense clearly didn't have as many opportunities as Marino did.
Yeah, well, look, 130 yards, but more important, look at this. 2-1 in the time of possession. You can't score points if you don't have the ball. You know, the Rams are going to get the ball first in the second half. They've got to come out, like I said, get into the flow and get the juices flowing for that offense.
Stoyanovich will kick it off. Jim Everett, 4 of 12, 51 yards, and an interception to this point. And it seemed that earlier on, actually his first 2 series, he was much sharper throwing the football than when the team fell behind. The last couple of series in the first half then started to come unraveled. Vernon Turner and Todd Kinchin are the deep men for the Rams. Strong-footed Pete Stoyanovich will kick it off. 2 yards deep. Turner brings it out. Gets to the 21-yard line. And the tackle made by Kerry Glenn. So Jim Everett, with those numbers for the first half, tries to get it going here in Miami.
Not an especially great first half for Jim Everett, but he's got to have to turn it up the second half. You know, I've been saying it the whole time, but the bottom line with him is they've got to get points on the board. No turnovers, get good protection from the offensive front, and get some points on the board.
Cleveland Gary hit hard right at the line of scrimmage. Chuck Klingbeil, the nose tackle, number 99 from Northern Michigan.
Chuck Klingbeil, one of those guys who just loves to play football. You know, I talked to him yesterday, and you know, he reminds me of Jim Burke. He's funny all the time. He's always messing around with people. And look, see this right here? That is called a lie. Because Chuck Klingbeil is 293 pounds, and he admitted to it, which means he's probably even more.
That's on a 6'1" frame, which I think is for real. Second down and 9. Everett with time. Willie Anderson, nice adjustment to the ball on a first down at the 41-yard line. Chris Green on the coverage.
We got to get things going, so where are we going to throw the ball? We're throwing it out here to Flipper Anderson. And Flipper Anderson plays that sideline game as good as any receiver in the National Football League.
19-yard gain.
That's a nice confidence building there for the Rams, especially for Jim Everett. Now, got to get a couple more of them, and Flipper's a man to do it.
From the 41-yard line, Dolphins jumped.
Hey, that's a gimme. Go with it.
Gary, good defense again out the right side of the Dolphins defense, led by J.B. Brown. Marco Coleman is a guy who jumped offside, it appeared.
Gordon McCarter.
Tight battle there in Washington, low-scoring game.
Looks like they need a little linebacker.
Offside, 90, defense, 5 yards, still first down.
Marco Coleman. You know, Marco Coleman has a bright future in the National Football League. Everybody we talked to about him, all they talked about was his great athletic ability and how he comes to play. But, you know, this guy's got a great personality. He's one of those players that you really like to talk to because he has lots of fun.
1st and 5, and Gary gets the first down. Cleveland Gary wanted to do well here in Miami. This is where he played his college ball, and he's having himself a fine game. Jarvis Williams made the tackle.
Yeah. You see, you got Marco Coleman over here, and he's going against Pat Carter. Pat Carter, a strong, physical tight end. And see what he does there? That's called veteran savvy right there. See, he never got his hands off of Coleman, turned him inside. Cleveland Gary gets the corner.
So the Rams have a first down. Opening series of this second half, down 17-0. 47-yard line of Miami. Everett, good reaction and good adjustment. The tight end Carter to the 41-yard line.
You're right, Tim. That's a good adjustment and good job by Jim Everett in the pocket. Felt the pressure from the sides, had the presence to stand up and find the open man across the middle. Jim Everett looks like he's picking up exactly what we had to do. We had to get some success early. They're getting it.
It'll leave second and about 4. Jeff Cross had the pressure on inside for the Dolphins from the right defensive end. Gary got a couple. Hit hard by Cox and Williams. Brian Cox, 51. Jarvis Williams, number 26.
You know, Cleveland Gary almost becomes the forgotten man here in this Ram offense. You know, we talked at the top of the game saying what Chuck Knox likes to do is establish the run game. That's his stamp. It always has been. They need a running back to step forward. You know, Cleveland Gary today is running. He's running hard, and that's what they have to have out of this offense. So Cleveland Gary steps to the front.
Third down, about 1.5 yards. The Dolphins fans get involved here. 3 wide receivers. Everett has a man open, and Delpino dropped the ball. Had the first down, turned upfield too soon, and there's the reaction from Everett.
Yeah, and that's something Jim Everett can't help. You know, that's the third time a ball's been dropped by him today, and it's going to show up in the stats like he had a rotten day. But Jim Everett, you know, he can't catch and throw the ball. Tough drop there by Robert Delpino.
So they're forced to punt. Don Bracken standing at the 47-yard line. Jarvis Williams and Scott Miller back. And Bracken got all of that into the end zone and through. So Miami will start from their 20-yard line when we return to Joe Robbie Stadium with Miami leading 17-0. Early third quarter.
When they talk about great football players of the National Football League, they talk about this man right here. See, that's Dwight Stevenson. Bear Bryant said that was the finest center he'd ever coached, but what he should have said was that's the finest offensive lineman. Dwight Stevenson could beat you anyway. He could beat you with power, he could beat you with quickness, he could lead the sweep on the outside, and he's been compared to this man, Richmond Webb. But you know, when I watch films of Richmond Webb, he needs to get the mean streak that Dwight Stevenson had.
We'll be watching Richmond Webb here in this second half. He gives Marino time to hit Farrell Edmonds for a first down. Dolphins to the 34. Good job of pass blocking by this man.
There's Richmond Webb out of A&M, you know, and you talk to John Sandusky, the offensive line coach, about Richmond Webb and say, you know, tell me about Richmond Webb. Great hands, great feet. He's got all kinds of ability. Don Shula told me that he's in the Munoz class and he could be the best offensive lineman ever. But you know, I got to go back to Dwight Stevenson, because John Hanna for the Patriots and Dwight Stevenson are by far the two best offensive linemen I have ever seen.
Well, the Dolphins have a first down now at their 35-yard line. Loose ball. Marino has to dive on it. Little play action there is Tony Page. And Marino had a little mini collision.
See what happens is he's going to fly out of his hand here and just pop. You know, it's like one of those Harry Houdini jobs. Where'd the ball get to? And good job by the defense closing in. And I always like those tackles right there. See, at the end, you know, you just go up, you put your hands on him, you get on the plane, you know, and you look through the stats and it says, you know, Millen tackle Marino. Sounds great, but you know, all I did was touch him.
I have the feeling that maybe that was supposed to be a running play to Page. And they got messed up. They were lucky to keep the ball. Marino rolls and off target this time, intended for Banks. Had good pursuit on him. Chased by Gerald Robinson, number 97.
Yeah, and they give that roll action there with Marino. You know, and that says that they're not getting as good a protection to that side as they like. So they try to get him to buy some time and pick up that big first down yards in the second and long rather. So Marino can do a lot of things. You know, you look at him and you say he's just a pure pocket passer, and all of a sudden here he comes on the roll.
He's got a 3rd and 19 to try and do something with, and again the Rams defense has picked it up. They gave up 17 points in the first quarter. Since then they have shut out the Dolphins. They got pressure here with 3rd and 17.
Hey,
interception. Anthony Newman takes it out of bounds at the 23-yard line of the Dolphins.
I'll tell you what, right? That defense, hey, we're doing our job, Chuck Knox. You get that offense going. Anthony Newman with the big play on the pick, sitting there in the zone. You know, Marino didn't see him. He's talking to himself as he goes off the side, but big plus there by Anthony Newman.
Well, the Rams have a great opportunity here, and it's an opportunity for Jim Everett to step up here. He's got the best possible field position, short of being on the 1-yard line. They're at the 24-yard line with the interception by Newman. Good protection. Anderson, touchdown.
Hey! Get your offense back into the game. Hey, you get a turnover and then you go right for the jugular and you kill him. You see, And you watch that Flipper Anderson, and he knows how to get to the jugular. He got J.B. Brown outside, and J.B.'s holding that outside. He's expecting inside help. It never shows up, and that's 6 points for Flipper Anderson.
Tony Zendejas for the point after. And the Rams get themselves into the football game with plenty of time. It is good. 9:36 still to go here in the third quarter. There you see Todd Light down there with his arm in a sling. We'll be right back.
Now, all you football fans out there, I want you to write this down. See, the first 10 plays of the second half are always the momentum swingers of a football game. You know, you got 4 plays from Marino, interception. 1 play from Everett, and they're right back in this football game. And this is what the LA Rams have to do. They got to get everybody back on their side.
Man, I can't write that fast, okay? You told me to write it down. You got to go slower.
Well, I assume that they're not going to listen to me, you know. Nobody else has for all these years.
All right, the Rams back in at 17-7. Miami lead. Tim Ryan with Matt Millen here at Joe Robbie Stadium. And the kickoff by Zendejas is taken by Aaron Craver, and he delivers it to the 21-yard line of the Dolphins. Well, the National Football League continues next Sunday here on CBS. Deion Sanders and the Atlanta Falcons will be in Soldier Field to take on the Bears. You will either see that game or the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at Detroit. Also begins with the NFL today. The last word before kickoff. Well, that should be an entertaining tilt. Atlanta at Chicago has a good sound to it, doesn't it?
Sure does. And Mike Ditka's going to have a lot of fun this week. I got a feeling.
13 of 23, but 1 interception led to the Rams touchdown. The numbers for Dan Marino. He's thrown 2 touchdown passes. And Higgs is stopped right at the line of scrimmage. So again, this LA Rams defense really starting to glue it here and making it much more difficult.
You know, we talked about a guy finishing a playoff. See, Richmond Webb with all the against Hawkins. See, Richmond Webb has all that great ability. Now he's got him blocked, but you see, he lacks right there. See that? He's got to get mean. You got to be an offensive player with a defensive mentality, and he's got to bury him when he has the chance. He didn't. Hawkins does a good job, makes the play.
So it's 2nd and 10. And a near interception if the official was nailed with a bullet from Marino. Check his number here. Is it Bob Wagner?
Yeah, that was good. That was a heads-up play by Bob Wagner. Hit him right in the noggin. You know, this is the second time I've seen this. This is 100% grade. See, on that pass coverage, hits him right in the head. Now, Dan Marino said, where does this guy come from? I never saw him. See, he struggles. There's the receiver going across. Watch this. See, ouch! That one hurt. And I'm going to tell you what, Marino should be happy he got his head in the way. If not, that looked like a pick.
Wow, Bob Wagner needed a helmet on that play. He got right in the ear hole. 3rd down with a flag down, and it is caught. Inbounds or not, let's see. They're calling it a completion, but there's a flag at the line of scrimmage. Mike Williams made the catch. Appeared to make a good effort to keep his feet in bounds. Let's see what the call is. Gordon McCarter.
Offside, middle of the defensive line. Penalty decline, first down.
So the Rams offside. Dolphins had the first down. Naturally, they decline, and Marino now has them up at the 34-yard line of Miami. Still a tight battle between the Redskins and the Lions.
And look at that, 14-3. The Raiders getting beat.
Time, about 9 yards.
2 things impressed me about Mark Higgs. First of all, the guy he is put together, you know, and I talked to him about it. You know, all too often guys, they work out like animals in the off season, and then when the season comes, they forget about it. Well, not Mark Higgs. You know, Mark Higgs spent this whole off season lifting weights, comes to the season 3 days a week. He's in there lifting heavy. You know, he's 195 pounds, and he can bench 375 pounds. That's a lot of weight for a little guy.
2nd and a yard for the Dolphins, and it's Higgs again, and Higgs cuts it back beautifully
watch him run, the better, and more and more I like him, the better he gets. He had a great line the other day, and we were talking to him. He said, you know, when he was up in Philly with Randall Cunningham, he said he was more of a blocker. He bulked himself up to around 205, and he said he had the block. Here's the line. He says, you know, when you block for Randall, if you missed a block, no big deal, you get away. He said, if I missed a block for Dan Marino, I'm out of a job.
He's right. 89 yards rushing for Higgs. 49-yard line of the Rams. Page out of the backfield, runs over a tackler and gets a first down to the 35 of L.A. Kevin Green, the man to stop him.
Tony Page is one of those guys that can catch the football, he can run the ball, but he's always overlooked because he's such a great blocker. You know, and when he gets out there, it's like a runaway train. You can't wrap your arms on him. You got to get a pop, and you got to hit him low. Tony Page, you know, they say he's 235, but I'm going to show you something. See this right here around the sides? That's not 235. That's more like 250.
Miami first down. Higgs runs into traffic and gets nowhere. Well, again, the Rams defense will be called upon here to come up strong. They had the two kids out of there for the first part of this series, Gilbert and Boutte, but they've been back in for the last two plays.
Watch Gilbert and Boutte. See, they're two young guys who are big. You know, they got to learn how to play inside. See, Gilbert takes the outside. That opens up that hole. See, Steven comes across. 3-yard gain. In the National Football League, for young defensive linemen, the first thing you have to learn is discipline.
Second down and 8 for the Dolphins here, and they would like to keep this drive going here. They haven't scored since the first quarter, and it batted down again. Now, Boutte had 2. I'm not sure that's Robinson's, I think, that time, number 97.
Gerald Robinson has come off the line of scrimmage, and I can't remember a game that I've played in or watched where this man Dan Marino has 3 balls batted down. Usually when you bat down a ball, that means you're not getting off the line of scrimmage. But what that man Gerald Robinson did right there, he had good presence to force the bad pass.
So it leaves him 3rd down and 8. Robinson, who came over in Plan B from San Diego, getting a chance to start now with Robert Young on injured reserve for the Rams. Humphrey, and he will be close to the first down, but I believe the Rams stopped him short. Field goal unit coming on the field for Miami.
Now here's an interesting stat that he told us about. Last year in that 4-receiver set with Jim Jensen, they only ran the ball 2 times. Now with Bobby Humphrey, in the first game they ran it 2 times, and that's the second time I believe we watched him run the ball today.
45-yard field goal try by Stoyanovich. So the Rams defense, again, doing the job, at least forcing the long field goal try by Miami. Oh, he nailed it. Stoyanovich, perfect, with plenty to spare. The second field goal of the day. It's officially 44 and a 20-7 lead. Tim Ryan, Matt Millen at Joe Robbie Stadium in Miami. A 44-yard field goal by Pete Stoyanovich has widened the lead of the Dolphins 20-7. 4:40 remains in the 3rd quarter of play. Vernon Turner, Todd Kinchin are the deep men. Rams scored on their last possession following the interception. Everett connected immediately with Flipper Anderson for their first score of the game, and then the Dolphins added the field goal from Stoyanovich, and he blasts that kickoff through the end zone. And we'll take this time out and return with Miami 20-7. The Rams starting from their own 20-yard line. 20-7 lead. Tom Newberry in the middle of the picture there, a 7-year veteran of the Rams. You played against him frequently over the years.
I like Newberry. You know, last year they used him mostly as a center, and that kind of got him out of his game. He feels he's a natural guard, and he's a good one. It's one of those guys in the National Football League that he really loves to play football. I like those guys.
Well, Vern Brostek now the full-time center following the retirement of Doug Smith, but Newberry has said he's happy to be back at that guard position. I guess centers just feel kind of anchored, don't they? These guys get to run a little bit.
They get to run a little bit. What they like to run at are those linebackers. You see, you get a big guy like Newberry, and if he can get his head on you, not his hands, he's going to do some damage.
So the Rams offense will try to get it going again here as they finally got on the scoreboard earlier in this period. Everett to Clipper Anderson. 24-yard touchdown pass following the interception by Newman. Pitch out for Gary. Gary gets a couple as Chuck Klingbeil cut him down, number 99.
There's Chuck Klingbeil again, you know. And I think that Chuck Klingbeil is he's going to establish himself this year as one of the better nose guards in the National Football League. Last week against Cleveland, he just completely dominated the center, and he was worried about that. You know, he thought that as this game went on against Brostek, he was going to have a tough time with the bigness, the size of Brostek. But I'll tell you what, he's a strong guy, plays nice and low. He's not had a problem yet.
Second down and 8. It's complete. Henry Illard all the way down to the Dolphins' 42-yard line. Henry Illard, who qualified for the Olympic trials in the triple jump this year, at 31 years of age, he can still go get the ball.
Oh, he can go get the ball, and Everett knows who he has to get the ball to, and here it comes. Here's the good thing. See, he beats Troy Vincent there in that zone, and now he's just going to cut back across the field. Now watch Troy Vincent at the end. See that right there? I tell you, that's a great heads-up play by a rookie player. Henry Illard knows how to play the game.
Held on to the ball. Cleveland Gary ran into one of his own blockers who was driven back into him. John Offerdahl has knocked the blocker right into the ball carrier. And for an NFL update, let's go to Greg Gumbel in New York.
All right, Tim, in Dallas, the Troy Aikman to Michael Irvin combo has clicked for the third time today. This one for 4 yards. Irvin today, 7 receptions, 200 yards, and 3 touchdowns. And Dallas leads Phoenix 28-10, 5 minutes to play in the third quarter. Tim?
All right, Greg Irvin having a great day, and rumors that Joe Bugle's job on the line in that ball game down there. Coach of the Phoenix Cardinals.
Nice play action.
He's got a man open. It's Illard, and he holds on. Takes a shot from Oliver. But another Ram first down.
Hey, that shows great presence there by Jim Everett. And he knows, see, that man right there, Henry Illard, he knows that Everett's going to come back with the ball if he has some time. Now, see, he's going to get some pressure here from the right side after the play action. So he takes it out to the right, which is generally what a right-hander does. Finds Illard, nice ball, completion, first down.
They're at the 26-yard line of Miami.
Henry Illard, who didn't have a pass caught last week, is closing in on his 100-yard game.
Cleveland Gary, and Gary nowhere to go. The ball came loose. It appeared he was down, but not by contact. So let's see who's got the football. The Rams have it.
Big Joe
Malinchik.
Yeah, that's a big farmer there from Emmaus, Pennsylvania. You know, he played against my high school, and of course we always beat their team, but what they always told me was this guy comes to play. And, they're having their little bit of a discussion going on what happened. Now what, the ball comes out right there. See, now that would be not by contact, so it really shouldn't be a fumble, but Malinchik with the heads-up play coming over and jumping on the ball.
Everett gets some time. He's got the tight end Carter, and Carter rolling will be close to the first down. Good second effort. See what they spotted for him. It's on that marker at the 15. Then they have a Rams first down. John Grimsley made the tackle, and yes, Los Angeles We'll have 1st and 10 at the 15 of Miami.
Tell you what, Tim, they get a score right here, completely different game. And how he's doing it, he's doing with the passes to bring that offense right back in it. So he said he had to get the juices flowing. They're getting them flowing.
Heller to the right. Anderson to the left. Gary. Nowhere to go. Got about a yard. Good pursuit by the Dolphins. J.B. Brown and Jarvis Williams. 37 and 26 on the tackle.
Yeah, what you watched right there was great team speed. See, the corners coming over, everybody making them up. Good defense.
Well, you heard the gun. That's the end of the 3rd quarter with the score. Miami 20, the Los Angeles Rams 7, but threatening.
Sorry about that.
We're at Joe Robbie Stadium in Miami. Tim Ryan with Matt Millen, where the Dolphins lead 20-7, but the Rams are threatening at the 14-yard line as we begin the 4th period. Jim Everett has been hot and cold through this game. In the early going, the offense did not have the ball very much as Miami dominated with 2 early touchdowns and led 17-0 at the end of the 1st quarter. However, the Rams defense has stiffened and the offense has come alive. It is 2nd and 9 as we look at John Offerdahl, the leader on that Miami defense. Position that used to be occupied by the likes of Matt Millen. Everett gets some time. The tight end Carter, a great catch against very tight coverage. Dwight Hollier, the rookie from North Carolina, and that linebacker was all over him.
He's talking to the officials about something. Maybe they're debating.
I think he would like an interference call because that guy was all over him.
Another. It's incomplete.
What? Oh, my goodness.
The ball. Nice ball thrown. That ball. What the heck are they talking about? That's a poor call by the officials. And I'm sure New York is listening to this, so they'll hear about it. But I'm telling you what, that was a great catch. And believe me, that was a catch. Pat Carter. And we watched the film with Pat Carter. More and more stood out. He's a strong guy, and he makes those kind of catches, even in.
To 14:43. 14:43. Thank you.
Well, they restored some time to the clock. 14:43. It was down to 35. 14:35 left. I'll take another look at that play.
Once again, how the ball's out there, and he does a great job. Like I said, he goes out there and makes that catch. Now he tucks it, see? Now, that's away from the official. Well, I see when he's rolling. I still think it's a catch.
It remains 3rd and 9. And a near interception at the goal line by Troy Vincent. He could not hold on. Pressure on Everett.
What makes that errant pass is real simple. Great call by Tom Olivadotti, and he brings the nickel back up and throws pressure. Bad throw.
Kerry Glenn was the safety on the blitz, and that was not one of Everett's better efforts. A 31-yard field goal try now by Tony Zendejas.
Bingo.
And it's good. 14:34 remains. We'll return to Joe Robbie Stadium after this message from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Tim Ryan and Matt Millen at Joe Robbie Stadium. The Rams have scored on a 31-yard field goal by Tony Zendejas to make it 20-10. And Jim Everett marched the Rams downfield, but couldn't finish it off at the goal line. They settled for the field goal. Marino, on the other hand, after a hot start, he was 9 of his first 11. He is 6 of his last 16, including an interception. And Marino was cooled off. The door is open for the Rams. The Dolphins hope to shut it defensively. Another good kickoff. Zendejas deep. Well, next Saturday at 2:30 Eastern Time, Here on CBS, we'll bring you Major League Baseball. You'll see either the Mets at Pittsburgh or the Cubs at Montreal. In the National East, the Pirates leading the Expos by 5.5 games. That all starts at 2:30 Eastern with Baseball 92 for all the latest news around the leagues. As we approach that end of season time, the championship series and World Series upcoming. Pittsburgh leading Philadelphia 3-2. Well, that's now final. 13 innings and a 6-game lead now as that game just ended. The Mets leading the Expos. Almost picked off by Larry Kelm. It was appeared to be deflected again. Well, these two big rookies in the middle here have had their paws up all afternoon, and they're giving Marino fits, especially from the second quarter on.
You know, size comes two different ways. It comes in big girth, you know, and they both have it over 300 pounds. And it also comes in height, and they both have that. Now, you stick one of those big old paws up there, and you go from 6'4" to about 7 foot, and that's what Boutte and Gilbert have been doing.
Mark Boutte has talked about doing that, saying, you know, I do consciously think to get those hands up there. It's been effective today. 2nd and 10. Edmonds juggles, and it is almost picked off. Kevin Green couldn't quite hold on. And suddenly, Dan Marino having all kinds of problems after a brilliant beginning.
Yeah, let me tell you something when you defend Stan Marino. See, when this stuff happens with him, when he gets down a little bit and all of a sudden he hit a little cold streak, you just better count your lucky stars, because, believe me, he's going to come back. So on a defensive point of view, you got to not stop and you got to bury him when you have the chance.
Well, that certainly wasn't any of his fault. Edmonds couldn't hold on to that bullet he threw. 4 wide receivers on 3rd and 10.
Got man all the way.
That's complete. Mike Williams for a Dolphin first down. Steve Israel, the rookie defender, made the tackle. Out of Pittsburgh, their 2nd pick this year.
Yeah, it's funny, you talk to Dan Marino, do you have any matchups for one? He says no, but he kind of smiles, and then you watch the matchup, and there all of a sudden he's hitting that rookie over there, Steve Israel, for the first down. So he knows exactly where he wants to go. He also knows that Todd Light is out, and that's depleted the DBs even further.
You mean the light is out over there?
Light is out, that's right. Got to turn that switch back on.
Higgs. Good running by Higgs. Over the 40-yard line. Pat Terrell made the stop.
He just didn't make the stop. He came up there with an exclamation point. Now, watch the front blocking. You see, you got Warren Powers right here, see, and you got Boutte up top. And see, what they're going to do, they're just going to pound him. See, get the linebackers running, flowing. Kevin Green comes across, and then it's up to Higgs. But I'll tell you what, at the end of that, yeah, that's right, Pat. Tell him all about it. Terrell with a nice stop.
2nd and 2. Now, he wants to hit there. He's lost his starting job today to Newman. Anthony Newman. And Humphrey picks up the first down. And here Dolphins marching out now.
And here comes a change of style, you know, and this is a big advantage for the Miami Dolphins. You got Mark Higgs, who's kind of a little stocky, tough runner inside, and he's going to hit it pound, pound, pound. Now all of a sudden, you switch gears, you know, you hit 3rd gear, and here comes Bobby Humphrey. You know, Humphrey's a slasher, and he's a completely different style, and that's hard to adjust to from a defensive point of view.
Higgs made the 100 mark with his last carry on 19 tries. On first down, Marino to the air, and that's complete for another first down to Duffer. So Marino's got it cranked again. Robert Bailey forced him out. They're working that side where Light would normally be. Remember, he left back in the first half with a shoulder injury.
Look at that 100-yard rusher back in the game, but the thing you remember most about Dan Marino is you're not going to stop him. See, Dan Marino's one of those guys who's going to get the big plays on you. Duper's going to make a catch. Williams going to make a catch. Robert Clark's going to make a catch. And all of a sudden, there comes time where you have to stop him, and his field shortens, and then you take advantage of your time. But this guy, he's going to get his big plays.
Well, he measured. It was close, but it was a first down. Now 17 of 31 on the day. 11:52 remaining regulation time. Higgs. The 3, a little more, near the 40-yard line of the Rams. Newman and Stewart coming up from the safety positions. Second down, a long 8. Intended for Duper. Duper turned in, and the ball went outside. You can see Marino not happy with that play.
Yeah, here's what I was just talking about. See, now you have your opportunity. You know, you had the couple of big plays, and now comes your third and long, and you have your opportunity to stop them. And this is when you got to make it. Go with that nickel package now, and they'll try to match this up all across the board with the 4 wide receivers.
They're down at 7. Heel in the game defensively on the front for the Rams. Henley comes up, tight on Duper. They go to Humphrey out of the backfield, and they'll be close to the first down. This will be a measurement. Roman Pfeiffer and Henley trying to hold him short. See where they spot it. No, they have spotted it first down.
Well, Pfeiffer got kicked in the ribs or something. He's down.
Pfeiffer in on that hit. And we have a timeout on the field. We'll take this opportunity for a commercial break and be right back. 20-10 Miami. Roman Pfeiffer up on his feet, made his way to the bench all right under his own power, but he hurt himself on the tackle against Humphrey in the pileup.
Now watch that last play by Marino. See, 1, 2, 3. That's 3 man. He knows he's getting man-to-man coverage. What he's really looking for is down below Duper on that man, and that's his primary receiver, Duper. See, he knows he doesn't have it. Now the good quarterback finds the open guy. Humphrey's underneath.
The Dolphins have used up 3:55 on this drive, so they are stealing the clock from the Rams. 10:39 remains and a 10-point Dolphin lead. There are the numbers in the game so far. You can see the improvement by the Rams in the second half.
And also look right here. See, they got the ball 18 minutes, and they finally put some points in the board. So they can get the ball in their hands. They can do something on the board.
From the 32-yard line of first down, Miami. Again, the pressure placed right back on the Rams defense. Beatty, the tight end, for about 8. And now for another NFL update, let's go to Greg Gumbel in New York.
All right, Tim, in Washington, Rodney Peete, the Detroit quarterback, watched the pump fake, and that frees Willie Green down the sideline 67 yards. That penalty marker is against the Redskins. It was refused. The Lions have never won at RFK. They're within a field goal, 13-10 in the fourth quarter, Tim.
Oh, that looked terrible.
You didn't like that play against your old team. That Lions team, I tell you, they're tough. They don't go away easily. Second down and 4. Right on the money, first down. Freddie Banks out of Liberty. They cut him again this year. He was re-signed when Mark Clayton got hurt. Made a key play against Cleveland Monday night. Yeah, they are never afraid to go to that guy. He's been injured throughout much of his career, but Marino has a lot of confidence in him.
Now, Marino got a lot of confidence in Freddie Banks. He got a lot of confidence in himself. And when we talked to Don Shula about Dan Marino, he said, what's the difference between Dan Marino now and when he came in? You just watched it. See, Dan Marino has learned to take charge out on the field.
He's got a first down for the Dolphins at the 17-yard line. Out of time for Marino. For Duper, incomplete. between the defenders, Henley and Terrell.
Every now and then in the course of a game, you're going to have a time where you're just going to say, hey, I'm going to take a shot. You know, here's one of those times. Duper, all the way. Henley, great coverage. Come back underneath. And I'll tell you what, he tried to fire it in there with that bullet. Just didn't quite get there. But Dan knows what he wants right away. Watch the release. Boom. Ball's thrown. Took a chance. Didn't happen.
So it's second down, Miami. 5:42 they've used up now on this drive. Higgs. Close to another first down.
This Miami offense, you know, when they talk about their run game, they start on Wednesday putting the game plan in, the first thing they do is say, look, we're going to take Richmond Webb and we're going to take Keith Sims, and we're just going to run right behind him. See? You see this? All they got the left side of the ball for 53 yards and in the middle. You know what this means right here? See, that means they're handing them the ball from the back and they're just letting them pick their way, but they start between these two men, Sims, Webb.
Higgs dropped for a loss on third and about a half a yard was all they needed. So credit to Fred Strickland, number 53.
Yeah, that's a great play by Freddie Strickland out of Purdue. You know, he comes up, makes a big play, and now he's got to force a big decision here. Do you go for it in fourth and 3?
They've already made it. They've got the field goal unit on.
I hate it when he does that. You know, put a little drama into the game.
The Donald on the sidelines. Don Shula, Miami coach up in New York. They have Trump down here. They have Shula. He's got his name all over town here. Hotels, streets, properties.
And he also got his mark on his football team.
Stoyanovich has widened the lead with the field goal, 23-10.
This is for the
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by AT&T, more ways to help you stay in touch. And by U.S. Air, every time we fly, everywhere we go, everything we do, U.S. Air begins with you.
Tim Ryan with Matt Millen, Joe Robbie Stadium in Miami. And Matt, the Dolphins, even though they only got a field goal, they used up 7:15 on the clock, and that is the biggest killer of all, with the Rams now down 23-10.
You know, the Rams still have a chance to get back in, but when you use that much time and know he's going to get the ball back again, that kind of makes it tough.
15 plays on that drive. 7:19 left for the Rams to make something happen. Jim Everett eager to get out there and get his hands on the football. Vernon Turner and Todd Kinchin awaiting the kick from Stoyanovich. Turner from the 1. Hit hard at the 15. Flags fly upfield of the tackle. Kerry Glenn made the hit.
That's a big hit there for Kerry Glenn. And, you know, he's got that enthusiasm because he knows he did something good, and that's good for a young player to get it out of the system.
Penalty apparently against the Rams, and they had only gotten the ball to the 16-yard line.
Holding a block in the back during the return, number 53 receiving team. Half the distance penalty, first down.
Fred Strickland, the man who picked up the penalty, and Chuck Knox goes, oh boy, now we start from the 7.
And that hurts him. You know, amazing if that's the Rams' first penalty of the day, and it couldn't come at a worse time. Zone. Oh, and the ball loose.
Recovered by the Rams. Brian Cox made the hit on Everett the second time he has shaken the ball loose. He was not in the end zone. He was right at the goal line, and the Rams recovered.
They see him at the top of your screen here. The first time that happened, you know, they had miscommunication and Cox came clean. This time, Tom Newberry went out to get him, but he beat him back underneath. You see right there, and the ball pops loose. Newberry does a good job of coming back and getting to the ball.
Well, he sure did. Lights would really been out had the Dolphins come up with the ball there. Brian Cox, another big hit. A flag, a late one. Only about a yard on the play for Gary, maybe 2.
There is no play. Field judge had indicated delay of game before the snap. It'll be half the distance, still second down.
Delay of game against the Rams. Half the distance isn't much. The ball just over the goal line and the crowd getting into it.
And I'd like to see a gutsy call right here and go with the play action and throw it up.
Cleveland, Gary, a yard at most. Tough running in the middle of the stack from the end zone. Third down. 4 new Rams come on the field. The wide receiver corps.
You hear that crowd calling for the defense, and that's something they haven't had down here in Miami for a while. You know, you talk about that 72 team, and you talked about how you round the ball out, but they really came back with that no-name defense, and that's what they need down here in Miami.
They need 16 yards for a first down. Everett from the end zone. Interception. Jarvis Williams.
They got that 3rd and 16, and they're going to give you a zone, and he's just waiting to get Henry Allen down the pipe, and it just never happens. Safety sitting there. Ball goes right into him right there. Nice pick there by Williams, and you hear that tapping noise on your TV set. You know what that is? That's the nail going into the coffins for the Los Angeles Rams.
Dolphins have it with Williams return to the 7-yard line. First and goal. 5:01 to play. Cooper out of bounds at the 1. Tried to twist into that pylon, couldn't make it. Henley had the coverage.
And this has been good. This has been a good matchup all day. You know, Henley's won some, and Duper's won some, and now they're down inside the 5. And when you're a defensive back, boy, you really got to close quick, and that's exactly what Darrell Henley does. When he grades that film, you know, he's going to say, well, I could have made a couple, but I also made a couple of big plays. So good day for Mark Duper and a good day for Darrell Henley.
Widener and Beatty join Edmonds. A little weight up front. That's their running formation, and Higgs is stopped short. The Rams defense not about to hold up here.
And that shows you something, too, you know, because really, you get down here with 4.5 minutes to go, and that's going to kill you. They score here, so you really got to get it back. Or Gerald Robinson down. You really got to get it back. You get a little pride in that defense, and this is a way to get it. You know, stop them here, hold them to a field goal, and that's a moral victory, one that you have to really count on.
Robinson hurt on the play, and trainers out to assist him. Hawkins, who has been on the bench for a good portion of this game, comes in now for Robinson. It'll be 3rd and goal inside the 1-yard line. Philadelphia 30-0 over Denver. And that's somewhat of a surprise, a low-scoring game. Atlanta against New Orleans, although New Orleans, of course, one of the tough defenses.
Yeah, Green Bay got their first win over Cincinnati. We talked to Don Shula about David Shula, and first thing he said was how happy it made him, but then he also said that the best thing he did was he hired a great coaching staff around him. And I think when you look at coaches in the National Football League, we talk about Don Shula with his 308 wins, but not really talking about, we're talking about the staff that he's put together.
Which is part of being a great coach, as he said about his son David. 3rd and goal. Higgs, touchdown. No. Fake me out. And everybody but the Rams.
Yeah, Michael Stewart wasn't okey-doked. And another surprise, you see Marino there patting him on the back. He said, nobody in the stadium think I'm going to go. He's laughing to himself. Nobody thinks I'm going to bootleg it. Michael Stewart was either had poor reaction or he knew what was going on. You're watching a fake over the top. Higgs jumps. Good deception there. See that right there? Takes it, pulls it out. Michael Stewart does exactly what you're supposed to do.
Good job by Stewart. Stoyanovich will try the field goal from just inside the 11. And it's good. Chip shot for him. And another 3 points on the board for the Dolphins. 3:59 remain.
Working to be the best they can be. Teammates, sponsored by the U.S. Army. The Washington Redskins rode into the Super Bowl on the rifle right arm of Mark Rippon and the sure hands of Art Monk, who should become the NFL's all-time leading receiver this season. Individually, Rippon, the Super Bowl MVP, and Monk are record breakers. Together as teammates, they made the world champion Redskins the best they can be.
The Dolphins leading 26-10 on a 20-yard field goal by Pete Stoyanovich, and he has had 4 field goals today to contribute to the success of the Dolphins against the Rams. 3:59 remains, and it'll be Stoyanovich kicking it off. Dallas has widened its lead.
2 minutes to go.
And Pittsburgh top of San Diego. How about Cleveland over your old Raider teammates, huh?
They made that quarterback switch out there in Raiderland, and they benched Raider and they put Marinovich in, and they thought that this would be the time to do it. But boy, 28-13, that doesn't look like too good of a time. 15 points down, and 0-3 for the Raiders, looks like.
Vernon Tucker and Turner, and Steve Israel are back for the Rams. Turner at the 3. And Turner dances his way out over the 20 to the 22-yard line where Kerry Glenn made the tackle. Well, next week, the NFL on CBS continues. The Atlanta Falcons will be in Soldier Field to take on the Chicago Bears. And you'll either see that game or the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at Detroit. It all begins with the NFL Today, the last word before kickoff.
Yeah, Tampa Bay, really, with Sam Weiss, they really turned into a pretty good football team. And Vinny Testaverde, they got to have him healthy. I see today he went out.
Yes, he did. Was hurt in that game against Minnesota, a loss. First down, Everett from the shotgun. Gets it off to Jeff Chadwick, number 89, 10-year man from Grand Valley State in Michigan.
First down. Hurry up right now. They only got 3.5 minutes to go. They're going to have to get yards and some points as quick as they can. That's the way to do it.
Screen. Gary. Good play defensively. Coming up was Troy Vincent, the rookie from Wisconsin, the number 1 pick. Bothered by a hamstring and a holdout. But they want to get him in there and get him going.
Oh, yeah. Now, you talk to Don Shula or Tom Alvadati about Troy Vincent, and their eyes light up because they need a guy like this in this secondary to kind of elevate the play of everybody. Troy Vincent a player.
On 2nd and 11, Chadwick again. And Chadwick, good effort, diving for the first down. He has it.
Jeff Chadwick, Chuck Knox brought down from Seattle, and he's a possession kind of guy. You know, they're going to work everybody deep, bring Chadwick back underneath, and just keep on getting the first down the field.
Inside handoff for Gary. And Gary, good running for a first down to the 45-yard line. A little draw play, effective there.
Team still have their 3 timeouts. Get down the field and get some points. There's an onside kick. Hey, you're right back in the middle of it.
Are you taking the nails back out of the coffin now?
I just looked up and I just remembered it's 16 points. So
Jackson on number 80.
Thought you had your pliers out there.
Forget the pliers. I like my tools, but they're not going to work with a 16-point deficit.
Henry Hillard hit by Bestie Jackson after a gain of about 6. 2nd and 4. We have a timeout on the field. Well, this is your 3rd week as an NFL commentator on CBS. It is time for you to read what is known as our disclaimer.
Yeah, you know, growing up, I'd always watch those telecasts, and out would come this disclaimer, and I always thought the same, what the heck does it mean? But this game is presented by the authority of the National Football League, and this CBS telecast is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of CBS, the Miami Dolphins, and the National Football League is prohibited. And the thing that I always never figured out, what is the express written consent? I mean, what does that mean?
You better get a letter before you try to use this game in any other way than it says on that card.
Well, you see,
well,
right
that was a good read, Matt. Not bad. Penn State, huh?
Yeah, get that good Eastern education like that man, Tom Olivadotti, who was giving his express oral consent to that Miami defense.
2nd down and 4. Everett steps up and he finds Chadwick again, and Chadwick shakes off 2 tacklers. Chadwick dives inside the 20. Jarvis Williams made the tackle. 2-minute warning has been reached here. It is still a big lead for the Dolphins. Brian Cox, he's had a fine game. What's that funny little thing standing up there on his pads?
Yeah, see that right there? That's the new version of the old neck roll. See, the old ones used to come around the side. See, and the new ones, they put it down inside the pads. You can see that gray right in here. See that? That's where the old one used to be. Now they stuck this up in the back, so when you hit, your head doesn't snap back. Here's the old one. This is the one that I wore. Jim Jensen still has. All the old guys go with it. You know, and that was a little more restrictive. So Bob Monica, the equipment manager, he came up with this with his brother, and they seem to like it.
Everett on 1st down, and the ball comes loose. Dolphins have it. Chadwick made the catch and had it long enough. He's hoping they call it incomplete. They will not.
He can hope all he wants. That's good defense there. Louis Oliver with the pickup. And watch Everett goes back. He knows where he has to go. He finds Chadwick underneath the zone. And there's the ball. They just got to close. And Troy Vincent comes in. It's the 2nd time that they've been able to strip the ball. Louis Oliver getting over there for a scramble, and nice little stat at the end of the day.
Louis Oliver comes up with the loose ball. Chadwick, who had made 3 catches in that prevent situation. Well, today's game was produced by Richard Zients and directed by Artie Kempner. The NFL Today was produced by Eric Mann and directed by Duke Struck. And the senior producer of the NFL on CBS is Ed Gorin. We thank our entire crew for a job well done today here at Joe Robbie Stadium. 1:46 on the clock. Dolphins deep in their own territory, but handily in front, 26-10.
Yeah, this one's over. And doesn't matter how many timeouts they call at this point, but
Tony Page.
I think from a defensive point of view here with the Rams today, as they take their timeout, they picked themselves up a couple times when they had to. You know, they had the turnovers, but not bad.
Well, tonight on CBS, if you think the abortion issue has turned angry, ugly, and violent, wait until you see what the environmental issue has turned into. That's tonight on 60 Minutes. And that is the season premiere of Murder, She Wrote, with Jessica Fletcher traveling to Milano to attend the opening of a movie adapted from her book. Suddenly, the script turns to murder, as you might expect, because that's what she wrote. That's followed by the CBS Sunday movie, Terror on Track 9, starring Richard Crenna and Joan Van Ark. That's all tonight on CBS.
And there's a guy we really didn't have a chance to talk to today, and the reason is simple, because he does his job, and you don't ever see anybody coming off his corner. That's offensive tackle, the 17-year veteran, Jackie Slater. And as I'd studied the films of Jackie Slater, one thing stands out. The guy is a battler, non-stop guy, goes hard all the time. Chuck Knox told us that yesterday, all week long, he's battling this man, Kevin Green, to the point where they get in fights every day. So 17 years in the league, and he's still picking fights, and you gotta love that.
Dolphins grind it out to the 7-yard line. Tony Page again. Kelm and Newman made the tackle, and the Rams take another timeout. Dan Marino's numbers, he doesn't like those 2 picks he had against him today, you can be sure of that, but he had 2 touchdown passes early that gave the Dolphins a lead they never surrendered. Rams have taken their final timeout. 1:32 remains at Joe Robbie Stadium. They were well under their capacity attendance here. They think that, of course, the effects of the hurricane on the city's psyche has had a lot to do with people thinking about football and other less important things than the damage and devastation in South Florida. Probably the attendance has been affected. But their season tickets are down this year as well. And, of course, the Dolphins admit that, well, they haven't been a winning team in recent years. And the fans here will support them. They fully expect when they get it together. And they're on their way to another victory here, which will make them 2-0. The Rams came in here 1-1 with their win over New England last week. They are a young team, and everybody out there is going to have to be patient with this squad. They've got a lot of young talent, but it's not all going to happen in the next few weeks. On 3rd down, take a little clock time off. 1:28. If there's ever a guy who's a convincing coach in terms of the future of a football team, it's Chuck Knox, though, isn't it?
Oh, I love Chuck Knox. And we asked him, Chuck, do you still like the game? And, it wasn't even a hesitation. He just jumped and said, I love this football game. He said, I love to get out there and jump in somebody's ear, and I love the X's and O's, and I love the players. And that's why Chuck Knox will make this team successful, because it'll transform into the players how much it means.
Prokop will punt from the end zone, just his 2nd punt. Remember, he came in to replace Reggie Roby, hurt his knee against Cleveland on his first punt last Monday night. Delay a game against the Miami Dolphins. They had a parade of punters in here this week that they looked at to replace Roby, who's on injured reserve, had arthroscopic knee surgery. And Prokop won the job, former Jets punter. Hangs one up. Takes a Rams bounce inside the 35. 47 seconds remaining to play. Well, that's how it looks for the Dolphins the next 5 weeks. It's not too bad a schedule for them to do something here. Buffalo, of course, is tough up there.
And that's the one that they got to get by. They got Seattle, and they play well. They should win. They got to play especially great up in Buffalo to beat that team. We talked to this team talked to Don Shula about that bye week, how they had it shift that didn't affect his team. He said, pluses and minuses. The pluses were the fact that they had guys who were hurt and they were able to play early. The minuses are they don't know how they're going to be physically when the time comes when they would have had that bye week.
Everett for Chadwick incomplete. Down to 39 seconds. The Rams have yet another AFC team to face next week, the Jets. And then they go up to San Francisco to play the 49ers, and they've got New Orleans after that. Those are 2 tough weeks, and the Giants, well...
See that? They're going to get 1, 2, 3, and that might be bye-bye. That could be a tough road there for Chuck Knox, but he knows it. He knows he knew what he got into, so he'll have the team ready to go.
Again intended for Chadwick, and that's incomplete.
You know, games like this, when it got to this point in the game, I would always be in the middle of that defensive huddle yelling over to Everett, saying, hey, look, just fall in the ball and get it over with. What the heck? It's 34 seconds. You're going to get somebody hurt out here. This is generally when I started yelling at the coaches on the sideline, too.
Some of them, including Don Shula, yelled back.
Yeah, we always know you're doing a good job when you can get the head coach mad at you.
I don't think it would take much with you involved. Most of the stadium is left. Gary makes the catch, a nice ankle grab. Bruce Alexander, number 32. Just fired that one down the sideline in the general direction of Willie Anderson. I think he does want to get out of here. 9 seconds are left. And they must be played according to the rules. Coaches keep telling them it's a 60-minute game, so you got to play every second.
Yeah, I always wanted to read that disclaimer, you know, and I always wanted to take a snap at the end of the game. Think maybe Marino let me go down there and get one?
If you hurry.
I only get 9 seconds, and I never could run this far in 9 seconds.
Your old teammates from Washington won their game, 13-10 final over the scrappy Lions. And that'll do it. So the Miami Dolphins have won 2 in a row, beating Cleveland, and now the Rams, and they're off to a good start down here in Florida. The Rams fall to 1-2, and Chuck Knox comes over to have a word with Don Shula, 2 of the legendary coaches in the National Football League. And we'll be back here at Joe Robbie Stadium in a moment. The final score, Miami 26 and the Rams 10. Well, Matt, what do you think?
Real simple. Dan Marino and Higgs. You know, we talked at the top of the game what they had to do. They knew they could rely on Marino. He comes through with 223 yards, but they had to put some of the pressure back in the running game. And Higgs came through with 111, Humphrey with 46, so 157 yards out of a running game.
Well, the Dolphins have to feel pretty good about themselves. They are like the Rams, a young team, and they're off to a 2-0 start. And so for Matt Millen, this is Tim Ryan saying so long from Joe Robbie Stadium. Our final score, the Miami Dolphins 26, the Los Angeles Rams 10. 60 Minutes is next, except on the West Coast. Next Sunday, more NFL action as the Falcons take on the Bears, and the Bucs visit Detroit. Check the local listings for the game you'll be seeing in your area. Saturday, Major League Baseball. You'll see the Mets take on the Pirates, or the Cubs battle the Expos. You've been watching CBS coverage of the National Football League.